Welcome to the Den, the Dark Entertainment Network. I am the Gothic Rose, and this is a channel where the news meets conspiracy theories. It makes babies in my brain, and it comes out my mouth. If this is your type of content, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and hit that bell, because I am not going to stop. Hello, dear fiends of the Den. I am back with this whole Epstein saga, and I have made another new connection thanks to someone I had a very brief conversation with today. But before I go on, Gen X, it's been a rough 24 hours. We've lost Malcolm Jamal Warner of The Cosby Show, and Ozzy Osbourne has passed away today, July 22nd. 2025, right after his last show. So stay tuned this weekend for a special tribute episode to both of these Gen X icons, Gordon Gartrell, forever. Now, before I go on, let me address my gaffe yesterday. I referred to J.D. Vance as Donald Trump's predecessor instead of successor. I'm sorry, I got a little distracted for a second, and the wrong word came out of my mouth. But this is in direct belief to the fact, it's my belief, I should say, that the fact that J.D. Vance went out to the ranch, the Murdoch Ranch. In my opinion, J.D. Vance is preparing himself media-wise. The Murdochs are media moguls. They understand what makes everyone tick, everyone listen, everyone pay attention, or they wouldn't be who they are, like them or not. The Murdochs rule the world when it comes to all kinds of news and media. And I think that they're helping J.D. Vance and Usha Vance prepare for stepping into the role of president and the first lady. And I'm going to say this. I am more comfortable with J.D. Vance as president than I am with Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is very chaotic and erratic right now because of the Epstein files, and he's blaming Obama and doing all the same old tricks. And I also think that he created so much chaos within Project 2025. They wanted to do this slower. They wanted to roll it out slower over 4 years. But he has these other people around him that are so ready to jump in and make everything change so quickly. It's been chaotic, and now everyone's sort of caught on to the plans. So my opinion is that this media firestorm is to push Trump out because Vance is younger, he's more controllable, and they can polish him into exactly what they want. Just my opinion, but let me know what you think in the comments. Now, life is very weird, and today we had the house appraised just out of curiosity to see, what's going on, because it's been 5 years, and we saw on Zillow that it tripled in value, but that was without all of our upgrades. So we'll wait and see what that's about. You just sometimes want to do things. And I'm talking to the woman who's doing the appraisal, and we're laughing, and all of a sudden she mentions the Epstein case, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so involved in this. I've been podcasting about it. And she gave me a clue. So listen to this, you guys. It's crazy. There is 2 minutes and 53 seconds of video missing that Pam Bondi originally said was 90 seconds missing. Now, we can get back into that and pick that apart all we want, but let me get to this connection that I just found out about. Because when you're from this area or you've lived in this area for a long time, there's a lot of prisons around here. There's Poughkeepsie, I think there's one, and Otisville, and there's just a lot of, I guess, I don't know why, but there's a lot of prisons around here, and people hear all of these stories. Now, do you guys know about Nicholas Tartaglione, or Tartaglione? I say Luigi Mangione, the rest of you say Mangione. So Nicholas Tartaglione, a former cop turned convicted murderer was Epstein's cellmate at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in July of 2019. This is also called the Brooklyn Detention Center, where Ghislaine Maxwell was and Diddy is right now. Now, Tartaglione's background: he was convicted of 4 execution-style murders in 2016, including the zip tie strangulation of Martin Luna. So Epstein supposedly died by strangulation, and this man was his cellmate. Now, Tartaglione buried his victims in a mass grave on his Otisville property, which is right in Orange County, and he was sentenced to 4 consecutive life terms in 2024. Now, in the Brooklyn Detention Center on July 23rd, 2019, Epstein was found unconscious with neck injuries while sharing a cell with Tartaglione. So he was found unconscious, but he lived. So Epstein reportedly told his lawyers that Tartaglione attacked him, but the incident was later ruled as a suicide attempt and Tartaglione was cleared. Now, after that, Epstein was moved to a solo cell, and this is where he died weeks later. So now, this 2 minutes and 53 seconds of missing surveillance footage, this occurred outside of Epstein's cell during his final hours, and this fueled speculation about foul play or a cover-up. So Epstein's legal team claimed he feared for his life from Nicholas Tartaglione, and this is even more so after the July 23rd incident. But Tartaglione's lawyer denied the assault. But the timing of this whole thing raises questions, because if Epstein was trying to off himself by strangulation and he failed, why wouldn't he just go to medical and admit what he did? I mean, they do know the signs of, I don't know, it's just really weird. But the thing is, Tartaglione wrote a letter to the press saying he despised anyone who hurts children, but insisted he never touched Epstein. So it's very strange, because I know that pedos have a really difficult time in prison. So Epstein did have a reason to be afraid, and I'm not in any way backing Epstein on anything that he's done, but he was put in a cell with an incredibly violent felon. And, he strangled someone with a zip tie and buried 4 bodies. So Epstein's death, paired with missing footage, paired with Epstein saying Tartaglione was the one who strangled him, to now he was found strangled and they said, it was a suicide. It's absolutely, absolutely wild that there could be this much of a cover-up. And did they let Nicholas Tartaglione get to him? Because they let inmates get to Jeffrey Dahmer in prison. I mean, it's not like it couldn't happen. Brief synopsis here, just to get this all correct. So, the things with Tartaglione, these rumors and these shadowy connections, are obviously the Epstein assault. And, it was just what Tartaglione's lawyers also said to the prison officials is that Epstein may have fabricated the story about being strangled by Nicholas Tartaglione to avoid suicide watch. But the timing and Epstein's injuries really fueled speculation that Tartaglione was more than just Epstein's cellmate and could have been a threat. And then there's the patsy theory. So Tartaglione's defense team argued that he was being used as a convenient scapegoat by the government. And some fringe theorists believe that his connection to Epstein made him a target for deeper institutional silencing, especially given his law enforcement background and ties to steroid trafficking networks. Interesting. And then there's an accomplice. So one of Tartaglione's alleged henchmen, Gerard Benderoth, a fellow cop and bodybuilder, unalived himself with his weapon in 2017 as FBI agents tried to arrest him. So the timing and the method, which was he took himself out during a traffic stop, have led to some speculation because he feared what might have come out in court about his true relationship with Tartaglione. And then Nicholas Tartaglione also claimed he ran an animal rescue farm and he was framed. And the judge called him delusional, but his supporters insist he was targeted due to racial bias and political pressures. So Tartaglione is Italian. Trying to see the racial bias since I'm Italian and we click Caucasian on our box. I don't know. You tell me. But this is why the rumors persist because of now it's coming back around because of this missing 2 minutes and 53 seconds of footage, the corruption with all of the law enforcement, his drug trafficking and steroids, plus his crimes. And there's some political pressure from high profile figures. Wonder who that is. So, yes, this is why, all of these conspiracy theories are open here in the den. And I want to know what you guys think. So let me know. Please add your voice. Thank you for joining me on the Dark Entertainment Network. So, if you have anything to add, anything at all, leave a comment. Or if you have a big, long story, email me at welcome to the den podcast at gmail.com. And thank you for joining me in the den.